You're listening to 89.1 KMUW. Valley Center's only independent grocery store, Leaker's Family Foods, has closed. Leaker's was not only a place to buy food, it served as a community hub for the past 50 years. As KMUW's Deborah Shaar reports, city leaders are preparing for life without Leaker's.
Valley Center was once an oil town along a busy railroad that cut through farm fields and downtown. The tracks are still active today, but instead of oil wells, Main Street is filled with stores and businesses. Mayor Lori Dove says Valley Center is known for being a distinct community, not a suburb of Wichita.
We have a bustling historic Main Street, we have our own post office, our own community newspaper, and until recently, our own grocery store.
That store, Leaker's Family Foods, a family-owned independent grocery that's been in Valley Center since 1968. Owner Chris Steinler posted an announcement on social media about 6 weeks ago that he was closing his store on South Meridian. Mayor Dove says the news spread quickly.
It was a shock. It was really disappointing thing to hear. We have so many things we're making progress on here.
Steinler didn't want to be interviewed for this story, saying emotions were running too high. He said in the statement that he tried to renegotiate his lease for years, but the landlord refused to make any changes. David Proctor with Kansas State University tracks store closings in Kansas as part of the Rural Grocery Initiative. He says locally owned grocery stores are valuable to small communities, and a loss is felt immediately.
They provide a significant amount of tax dollars to support the town. They hire quite a few people to work in that store. They're gathering places for the community, and we call them community hubs.
Leaker's was the place where kids got their first jobs. You knew the managers and owners because they would greet you in the store. Checkout lines made catching up with neighbors easy. Regular customers like Amanda Park often stop by Leaker's several times a week.
The employees that are there, there's always a smile. They greet you when you walk in, and they talk to you about your life or what's going on in the community when you're checking out. So that part of the community is going to be missing.
Leaker's was not only ingrained in the community, it's also part of family traditions and memories. Mayor Dove remembers making the weekly trip to Leaker's as a kid with her grandparents.
And they'd always buy me a comic book, and it was a lovely time, and everyone knew who they were. The grandfather who founded Leaker's would often be there and visit with them, and it was a really special experience for me as a kid, and I am not alone in that.
In Valley Center, there are convenience stores with a limited selection of fresh food and a Walmart within a few miles of the Leaker's location. The Park City Leaker's, about 4 miles away, remains open and is another shopping option. David Proctor with K-State says losing the convenience of the hometown grocery can create a challenge for some longtime customers.
The people that are most impacted tend to be elderly residents that don't have great mobility in terms of being able to drive cars and things like that. And also folks that have limited resources and may not have reliable transportation.
Mayor Dove is trying to recruit a grocery store or pharmacy to come to Valley Center. She selected 10 people from different sectors in the community to serve on a task force to lead the process. The first priority, she says, is finding out what the community is willing to support.
And those are hard questions to ask, but we really need to look at what kind of model will we support and what kind of options are we not currently considering that maybe we should.
She knows history and loyalty are on Valley Center's side when it comes to recruiting a new business. After all, Leaker's had a 50-year run, despite growing competition over the years.
We're a community that likes to get things done, so I would hope that after exploring all the options, we're able to solve this fairly quickly.
For KMUW News, I'm Deborah Shaar.